Good evening, YouTube subscribers. Welcome to my Thursday evening live stream of my improvisational comedy performance. Keep laughing. Okay, I have this idea. So the idea that I have for a scenario is, well, actually, I want to go back to the thing. Remember I was talking about Billie Eilish? I was saying that, that this is my wild idea to have, so I wanted to do like kind of like a reboot of Popcorn. You see the movie Popcorn starring Jill Schoelen? Came out in 1990. It's one of my favorite movies. It's kind of an offbeat horror movie. Basic premise is that there's these film students at, I think it's the University of California, and they don't have the budget to keep the film school. They're losing funding for the film school, so they're trying to raise money to keep the film school at the University of California happening. And so what they want to do, the idea that the teacher had to raise the funds was to put on a all-night horror-thon. So this was filmed like around 1990, so they're going back to like the 1950s sci-fi horror movies, all the popcorn movies back then, like all that stuff. Like I don't know. Anyways, whatever. I'm trying to think of a title, but just all that old stuff and black and white and everything. And so if they raise money enough money, they could keep the theater department running. But so they're sitting around talking about this, and it's got like a really kind of like convoluted, strange plot to it. It's not your everyday type of plot. It's a little bit confusing and a little bit like it's almost like this plot is almost like it's kind of like it's very non-formulaic, and it's almost like I've seen it like so many times, but I still find it to be kind of like to have like a lot of inconsistencies and everything to it that are kind of hard to reconcile, but tangentially to the main plot of them trying to save the theater school is something happened to the theater many years ago where this guy so yeah okay, what happens? What's the name of the guy that okay, so wait a minute. I'm piecing together the plot in my mind. So this guy murders his family at like during an actual performance of a play or something. So, but there's like a few survivors, and he comes back and disguises himself as these different characters that are the main characters in the show to finish his like murdering spree. Anyways, so he comes back, and so it's kind of like this like very surreal type of thing, and it's still hard to kind of like to make sense of it. But so anyways, he so while they get this horror-thon happening at the movie theater, and he's like he makes these like he makes these masks that are like the exact replica of like the different people. He can like totally replicate, different masks and everything, and to look like the people that he's like stalking and everything. And so he comes back and he's kind of like wandering around the theater, and he's like, but anyways, that so that's just like part of the script, part of the plot that are, but it's a very loose kind of like non sequitur, kind of like surreal type of plot. But I thought Jill, yeah, I thought because I kind of think Billie Eilish would be a good actress, and I thought like she could be like a new incarnation of this movie, Popcorn, and she could play the role of that Jill Schoen plays in the movie, and I could be. There's a guy in the movie too that's like always in these Woody Allen movies. What's his name again? I think. Wait a minute. What's his name? Uh, I got the poster in front of me. I think it's Tony Roberts, but he's in like a lot of Woody Allen movies. The guy with the curly hair that's always trying to coach Woody Allen on like how to meet women. That guy. And anyways, I thought Billie Eilish and I could put we could premiere the movie like on a stage, somewhere like around Santa Barbara, something like that, outdoor, you know. Okay, so that's that. So I just thought like, okay, why don't I improvise a phone call between me and Billie Eilish? All right, let me see. What's her number? Oh, I got her number. Okay, the phone's ringing. Come on, pick up. Oh, Billy? Yeah. Yeah, my name is Mike. I'm from Chicago. How did I get your number? Um, I've got this psychic connection to phone numbers, and I can look into the 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 realm where certain um, thought forms travel to temporarily before they become permanent abstractions in the concrete realm of um, something. Well, that's how I found out your number. Okay. Anyways, I was just thinking. Okay, so I know you're like a really good songwriting artist and everything. You got like your latest album. It's called Happier Than Ever. You know what's really cool about that album, Billy? I noticed that like on the cover of the album. Well, ironically, the album's called Happier Than Ever, but there's like a tear coming out of your eye. So I like the irony of that. I thought that was like a really cool idea. What? Oh, yeah, I saw that. Where? In the park. Have you ever been to the park? It's not too far from the lake, but it's actually it's kind of like two extremely different types of places. Which place do you like better? Really? Oh, okay. Anyways, what I wanted to say was so I love your albums. I love your music. Oh, by the way, I learned what two of your songs? I learned "Bad Guy" and "Therefore I Am." Both really cool songs. They're getting a lot of views on YouTube. You got to check them out. Okay. Well, anyways, Billy. Billy, I was just thinking. Did you ever see? Okay, I know you're only what 20 years old, which is actually pretty impressive that you came up with such good songs by that age. I mean, I didn't even know how to play guitar or anything, or sing or do anything when I was 20. I was still just going to college, and I was just I didn't have any musical skills back then, so I'm pretty impressed by that. But anyways, I was just wondering, did you ever see the movie Popcorn? You did? You saw the movie Popcorn? Came out in 1990. That's when you were okay. So you were born what? You're 20 years old. You were born like in the year 2001 or something. 2002. I think 2001 or whatever. 2002. You're 20 years old. So in 1990, you were minus 12. You get it? Okay. Anyways, counting backwards from 2002 to back to 1990, whatever. So my point was, oh, so that's so cool. You saw Popcorn, huh? That's really cool. Anyways, it's a weird plot, doesn't? Do you understand? I mean, there's some pretty confusing plot devices going on, aren't there? Some weird stuff going on. Some weird, wild stuff happening in the movie, isn't there? Yeah, it sure is. Anyways, what I was wondering is, sure. What I wanted to say was, um, okay, so you're a big fan of that movie too, huh? Yeah, very cool. It's very abstract and surreal, isn't it? Existential and kind of bizarre and otherworldly and esoteric and um, strange and unusual and innovative and delightful and um, weird, isn't it? Okay, anyways, but what I wanted to say was if we, if I, okay, so you live in Los Angeles, right? I live in Chicago, well, Park Ridge, which is right next to Chicago. And what I was wondering is if if I took a plane to Los Angeles and I met you at the airport, LAX, and we went over some of the plot elements of Popcorn. Now you could write an entire album that was inspired by the movie Popcorn. Different like I mean, I'm sure you could dig some inspiration out of that movie. You just kind of like decide like, okay, so for each different, here's an idea. Let's say there's 24 scenes in the movie. I'm thinking like the average movie is about 24 scenes or so. You wrote a movie. It would like be a double album. It would be 24 songs. I'm not just guessing that there's 24 scenes. Whatever, how many scenes? Let's say there's 24 scenes. 24 songs on a 2 record set. Each song is inspired by one scene in the movie, and it follows through the movie scene by scene. Each new song is derived from each subsequent scene, and you got a whole new. That way, you've got like the inspiration for a whole new double album. I think it's a great idea. And anyways, so are you in? What? I like crullers and custard filled donuts. Why? I don't know. There's something about them. They kind of take my taste buds to this kind of like uh, to a plane of existence where I can I can see into the brain of Betty White. And Betty White, the great comedian, she died about what a year or two ago. And but her thought forms, the thoughts that Betty White, okay, that she had, still exist. Some people have access to them, and some people don't. I have access to Betty White's thoughts that still exist. Now, when I eat either a cruller from Dunkin' Donuts or a custard filled donut from Dunkin' Donuts, I can actually see into Betty White's thoughts. I have access to Betty White's thoughts, okay, when I eat those donuts. Betty White's thoughts still exist for me. And I'm very inspired by them. And her thoughts, some of them are pretty weird, okay? Some of them are pretty goddamn weird. And I'm not going to tell anybody else. I'll tell you what they are, but just don't. Can I trust you? You're not going to tell anybody? Okay. All right. Anyways, what was I going to say? So, yeah, I would like to. We'll stick with the original script, except for maybe a little bit of editing. And we'll do a little bit of editing for the review. I'd like to embellish the script a little bit and put a few more plot points into it. And I don't know, maybe add a few scenes, delete a few scenes, something like that. Are you in? You are? Great. Okay, so I'll meet you at LAX. We'll go over the details. And then maybe we'll go to the beach and play volleyball. What? You are good at volleyball? I didn't even know that. That's wonderful. Um, well, that's an idea. That's a great idea. We'll have a volleyball tournament before the premiere, before and after the premiere of Popcorn, the beach in Santa Barbara. A volleyball tournament before and after. Who would who would be like the the referee at the volleyball game? Well, okay. I don't know anybody who wants. I haven't been able to find anybody who wants to do that to referee a volleyball game before and after the performance of the movie Popcorn, as portrayed by you in the character that Jill Schoen played, and me as the character that Tony Roberts played. I told a lot of people about this. Nobody's interested. So what I was thinking is, I would like to get a cyborg to be the referee. What? Cyborgs are expensive? I was thinking about trying to build a cyborg. Do you know how to build a cyborg? You do? That's wonderful. But first, I have to find some kind of host that we can. So I need to, in order to build a cyborg to be the referee at the volleyball game that takes place before and after the movie Popcorn that will premiere on a beach in Santa Barbara, California, with you as the Jill Schoen character and me as the character that was played by Tony Roberts, that I have to find um, some kind of um, mannequin that was thrown out by Hollywood. So I have to dig through the garbage behind Universal Studios Hollywood and find a mannequin that looks like a referee who would want to coach a volleyball game. I mean, referee a volleyball game. Well, so once we have the mannequin, then what? Then you're going to implant some kind of computerized aortic system into the chest cavity of the mannequin and look deeply into the farthest reaches of the Crab Nebula of the Andromeda Galaxy to the stardust and the gas that was left by a pulsar 10 million light years from Earth, and the thought substrates of your mental imaginings are going to somehow coalesce with these photons and dust particles that were left by the pulsar and what did I say? There was a pulsar, and whatever. I didn't say supernova. No, what I said was okay. Whatever. They're going to coalesce and like and then travel back to the Earth. Okay. At the speed of light. Wait, I said it's 10 million light years away, so it's going to take 10 million years to reach the mannequin. So how's that happen? You found a way? Oh my God, Billy, you found a way to get light to travel faster than the speed of light. I mean, well, that doesn't even make sense. To get light to travel faster than the speed of light. You found a way for light to travel faster than it normally travels. How'd you do that? Just by eating popcorn? I could have done that. Anyways, okay, so then if it's 10 million light years away, normally the rate at which light normally travels, look at the speed at which light normally travels, that means that if it's 10 million light years away, it's going to take 10 million years for this light to reach the mannequin. Now, if how fast have you been able to get light to travel? 1 million times faster than the speed at which it normally travels? So that means, let's do the math. If it travels, light travels 6 trillion miles per year. 6 trillion. Okay, so let's say so if it travels 1 million times faster than 6 trillion, let me see, 1 million? Well, okay, let's do it the other way. 10 million light years from the Earth, you've got it traveling 1 million times faster. So instead of taking 10 million years, it'll take 10 years? Yeah, I think is my math right on that? I think. Yeah, so it'll only take 10 years. But then we still got to wait 10 years for the light to travel to the mannequin so that the mannequin can come to life and be the referee at the volleyball game before and after the premiere of Popcorn. Well, then we'll have to wait 10 years, okay? 10 years, this is 2022, so this is going to happen in 2023. So this gives you plenty of time to write all the songs that are inspired by the movie Popcorn, and plenty of time for me to write the script. Okay? All right, this has been a very enlightening conversation, Billy. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay. So, hopefully, in the year 2032, you'll see the premiere of a reenactment of the new Popcorn, Mach 2, featuring Billie Eilish as Jill Schoen, and he is the character that was portrayed by Tony Roberts.